Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Vegan World 2026 Moonshot podcast. And today we are going to be talking about a very important aspect of veganism, which is clothing and fashion. And we are joined by Jonathan Ohayon from France. Hello,
Yes,
Jonathan. How are you?
very
And
good, and
Jonathan is
you?
the, uh,
Very good, and you?
I'm doing great. So, Jonathan is the founder of the F.A.K.E movement. What does F.A.K.E stand for, first of all?
So, fake means fashion for animal kingdom and environment. And of course, animal kingdom is the entire animal kingdom. So, the non-human animal and human animal, we are all animal.
Right.
And yeah, we support brands that are 100% vegan and 100% ethically made.
Wonderful. So, first of all, how did you get started in this?
In the fashion world,
In the fashion world, yes. And yeah, and
so yeah, so I'm in this since I'm a baby. With my
mm,
dad was always working in fashion accessories, especially
mm.
bags, and yeah, I was always going working with him. So I'm in this since I'm a little kid, but I never really go deep into that until I became vegan and my dad started to create a new brand. He had this new vision of a backpack that he has in mind, and with my brother who were vegan as well, we decided to go 100% with my dad and to build a family business all together with all our values. So vegan, ethically made, sustainable as much as possible, and yeah, that's how everything started. That's how the
So,
passion. Yeah.
where were you? I mean, where did you grow up? Did you grow up in France?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in the fashion industry, I mean, I've heard you say that vegan fashion is not necessarily sustainable, but sustainable fashion is necessarily vegan.
Exactly.
What do you mean by that?
So if you check all the statistics, all the studies you have nowadays,
Mhm.
because people always complain about vegan fashion that they use a lot of plastic, a lot of synthetic
Mhm.
plastic material. However, every study proves nowadays that animal product has a way worse impact on our environment, on our environment, even worse than plastic. Take
Mm.
leather, for example. The production of leather have 3 times worse impact on our environment than the production of PVC, which is a pure plastic synthetic material. So of course, if you look at vegan material like plastic, of course it's not sustainable, but it will always be more sustainable than leather.
Right.
So this is why I say vegan fashion is not always sustainable, but sustainable fashion should always be vegan. It's impossible to have a piece of leather that is sustainable. First, it's not sustainable for the life of the animal, and very often, actually 90% of the time, it's not sustainable for the workers because they use chrome and they use carcinogenic toxic chemicals, and it's not sustainable for the environment. So yeah, I don't even know how people can use the word sustainable next to leather. It's a
Mhm.
pure lie.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked to find out that there were what 50 different chemicals used in treating
Yeah.
leather. Is that right?
Yeah, depending on how they do, but most of the way they do it, it's simple. I don't know the exact time that it takes, but let's say, for example, it will take 2 months to create a piece of leather if you do it
Mhm.
naturally. But when you use toxic chemicals, it can take less than a week. So of course,
Mm.
people will take this shortcut. But yeah, you need 50 different chemicals. You need different salt, lime, chrome, and all those chemicals are made to bleach the color of the skin, to remove the hair, to burn the hair, to make sure that this biodegradable material become non-biodegradable. Because everybody
Mm.
love to say, oh, but leather is biodegradable. Okay, so why people are proud as well to say that leather lasts forever? So
Right.
because it is not that biodegradable, it takes a lot of time to biodegrade, and it's full of chemicals. It become a brand new product. I I can talk for hours about leather. I
Mhm.
just want to. I don't know if you want me to start, but if I start, I can talk for hours on this topic. I'm
Oh
very
no, I
passionate.
mean, we need to know, I mean, if there are 50 different chemicals used to make leather, and when we are wearing leather, you're basically ingesting those chemicals through your skin, are you not?
Exactly. Yeah, because
Right.
why we wear clothes? It's to get warm, you know. So when
Hmm.
you wear leather, it make you hot, so you
Hmm.
sweat, and by sweating, you open your pores, and all those toxic chemical can go easily inside. So that's what you do by wearing leather. And yeah, people like to say that leather is a natural product. It's as natural as plastic. It's like if I
Hmm.
say, but plastic is a natural chemical reaction from oil.
Hmm.
You know, you put oil,
Right.
alcohol, it's natural. But
Right.
yeah, the result is not natural. And the only way to wear natural leather is to take the skin of the animal right away
Hmm.
and to put it on you. However,
Hmm.
nobody wants to do that. It's full of blood. It smells super bad. It's gonna rot on your shoulder. So that's why you need this whole process, all these chemicals to make sure that it doesn't rot on you.
Right.
But it's actually way worse.
But in the process, you're basically making it completely non-sustainable, non-biodegradable.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's another study that has been made by, I think, Collective Fashion Justice. If you don't know
Hmm.
them, go check them out. They have amazing resources, and they prove that it's better for the environment to let the hide on the on the on the land to disintegrate than
Hmm.
creating a new piece of leather. So the argument of saying it's a byproduct and it's good, I mean the animal is dead already, so let's use its skin. It's uh, it's not it's not valuable because it's actually better for the environment to let uh, the animal. The same way we will do with humans. I
Right.
mean, we won't. If I use this argument, I'd say, I mean, the humans are dead already, so let's use their skin to make a bag out of
Right.
it. Nobody will want that. It's disgusting. So we should respect the animal the same way we respect humans, and let their skin where they belong, to us and not to our bags. Or yeah.
Right. In fact, we have a granddaughter who's 10 years old,
Mm,
and she looks at the world through vegan eyes.
mm,
Unfortunately, I have been steeped in carnism when I was growing up.
mm,
So I think I'm slowly, she's helping me to slowly unravel my carnism. But anyway, she came home the other day because she just started middle school. And she came home the other day and she was shocked. She was
mm.
horrified because she found out that violin strings are made from the guts of sheep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that either. And I went and looked up, and she was right. Apparently, her teacher told her. She has a
Mm.
violin teacher, and a violin teacher said, "Okay, this is how it's made. And would you like to play the violin?" And she said, "Absolutely not. I don't want to touch that thing." And so she
Wow.
chose to do something else because it was an elective, these violin strings. But anyway, it's these things are so ingrained in us. So we assume that, yeah, when an animal dies, we need to use the animal, every
Yeah.
part of the animal, and therefore we have to use the skin to
Mm,
make clothing for us. And we don't
yeah.
realize in the process we are actually hurting ourselves,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, and this argument is not always working. So it's working for cows, but not for
Mm.
dogs. Because
Right,
in China they eat dogs, so they
right.
use their skin as well, and you can buy dog leather. And actually, even in the US, there's many places you can find dog leather. if you wear gloves, leather gloves, or small
Mm.
accessories, it might be from dogs and you don't even know it. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, and people don't know about that. And when they learn that, they always get offended. But I remind them those animals were supposed to be byproducts. They were killed for their flesh, so we use their skin. So why is it okay for cows but not for dogs?
Right. Yeah, when we euthanize dogs, we don't even know what happens to them right afterwards.
Yeah. But in the US, they are not allowed, I think, to create leather dogs, but
Mm.
it's mainly from China. The thing is that it's not legal anymore, but dogs' leather are not labeled as dog leather. They are labeled
Mm.
as genuine leather, and
Genuine leather.
yeah, and there is no way to know. So I can buy tomorrow a leather from China, and it can be from dog, and there's no way to know. So.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
There must be a supply chain and procurement process that some company has, which is going and collecting the skin of dogs somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. You cannot know exactly what where the animal come from. When you
Mm.
have a leather, you just know that it's a dead skin of an animal, but you don't know where it's from. When an animal goes into a slaughterhouse, they don't keep track of, okay, this animal, we take his skin or her skin, and now we're gonna create leather, and so the leather come from this animal. There's no way to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's why people can easily wear leather, because like I always say, if you knew the story behind this bag or jacket or whatever, you will never want to wear any of that. If you knew how this animal was killed and how they removed the skin and they burn it and they did all that, you don't want to wear any of that. So yeah, we need to help people to reconnect and to realize what they are doing. Oh, I think you cutting. Oh, maybe it's me. Oh, okay.
Me? Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
our internet is a little flaky. So, have you seen, Miles asked this question, have you seen how people are abused in factories?
yes, so I didn't see from my own eyes, but there's many
Mm.
documentaries,
Mm.
especially in I think it was in Bangladesh. This one,
Mhm.
I'll be more than happy to share it in the story if you want. It was from Vice. Maybe I can find it now and share it. I will share it later
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah.
comment.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, there's people over there working without any protection in chrome, in all those toxic chemicals. Like I said, those chemicals are made to bleach the color, to burn the hair. So you see their hand and their foot because they don't have any protection. They don't have boots. They don't have gloves, and the color, their hand are completely bleached. Sometimes it's eaten by those toxic chemicals. The rate of cancer, asthma, birth defect, birth like when you cannot have babies. So in those countries, it's very high, and those toxic chemicals are not recyclable. You cannot recycle them. So what they do with it, they just throw them in the river, and then you see
Right.
that in those river you have kids that are playing, they are fishing, they eat those fish full of those chemicals. So yeah, I will share this in the comment, and that's one documentary. It's not an isolated case.
Right.
It's like that. If it happens somewhere, it happened everywhere.
Yeah, it's happening somewhere out of sight of those who are buying the leather.
Mm,
Yeah. Because otherwise, as you said, if you knew how the leather was produced, you wouldn't wear it. Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the story of capitalism. No, it's it's.
Exactly.
Eh,
And there's so many alternatives nowadays. There's
mm,
a I like to talk about pineapple leather, for
hmm.
example, because
Right.
founder, she worked for like 15 years in the leather industry,
Hmm.
and she was so shocked and disgusted by what she saw that she gave her life to find an alternatives, and that's how she
Hmm.
created Pinatex, which is made of pineapple, and it took her like 5 years to create that.
Hmm.
So there's so many alternatives, and it's just the beginning. They keep on getting better and better every day. You have alternatives from apple, pineapple, cork, from everything.
It's called Pinatex.
Yes.
Pina.
Piñatex, it's made of pineapple, the
Okay.
pineapple leaf. So they use the pineapple, and then they are left with the leaf that they usually
Hmm.
burn, or they don't really know what to do with it. So she make fiber out of those leaves, and that's how she creates this leather. And I think they got a new version last year that it's even more resistant. So they keep improving always. That's why it's even more
The
amazing.
chemicals they use for processing the pineapple leaves.
Hmm? It's
What
getting.
chemicals? Do you know what chemicals they use for processing leaves?
So it's they use a PLA, polyhallitic acid, but it's made of
Hmm.
corn. So it's not even plastic because it's made of corn. So it's actually better for the environment. And yeah, most of synthetic leather we can find nowadays, even when it's mixed with some fruits, it's often mixed with some synthetic to make it more resistant. But
Hmm.
Pinatex is more natural, biodegradable. Even though the one with mushroom is better. Um, but yeah, again, like I say, even if you take the worst type of synthetic, it will still be better than leather. So of course, I don't
Right.
promote it. I don't. I always say it's better to. I always say it's better to not buy nothing. But if you want to buy an alternative, even though synthetic, we all know how bad it is. It's actually better than leather. So
Right. 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 No, I mean, I'm just fascinated by the fact that if it is biodegradable, it should not last too long,
yeah,
right? Because it's
exactly.
degrading in the environment. And
Yeah,
so it's better to have something that you have to change once a year, but it degrades and becomes part of the environment, than to
exactly.
have something that lasts for 50 years. But
Yeah. Yeah, and I have, I have a wallet made of cork. Uh,
uh-huh,
it's been years that I have it, and it's still like new. So
uh-huh.
it's also you need to take care of it and respect more as well what you already have. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Right,
when you have something that you care, it will last forever, no matter what. So, and that's life, then if he has to go away, like you say, because it's very great, so that's how it's supposed to be. It should
right.
not last like that.
Then it
Yeah,
comes
there
down
is
to,
someone who were proud to show me, look, we found a piece of leather from 1800s,
uh-huh.
and it's still like brand new. And I say, but do you realize that this is not a good news?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little like the food that does not rot at all.
Yeah,
And he said, "Wait a minute, why am I eating that?"
I heard that. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that even our body take more time to rot because we eat too much preservatives and things like that.
I see.
Apparently, they prove that. I don't know if that's true, but I heard something like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Miles has another question he's asking.
Hmm.
So for his trash can liners,
Okay.
rubbish liners, use a compostable biosack by Interplast Group. So is synthetics could be compostable?
I don't think because yeah, it's oil and yeah, I don't think. That's why I always say synthetic is not the best. Um, yeah, it's not really biodegradable. You can create microplastic. Um, but that's the thing. For example, synthetic fabrics for t-shirts or things like that. A lot of people complain about the fact that it's synthetic, but
Mm.
there is, for example, rPET. It's one of the fabric you can find that is made from plastic bottle.
Mm.
So they take the plastic bottle, they crush it to make small little piece of plastic, and then they create fiber with this, and they can do
Mm.
t-shirt. So is it better? It's complicated to say because of course it's synthetic. It can create microplastic in the ocean and all that. But is it better to make something out of this plastic bottle that will anyway end up on the ocean or in the atmosphere by burning it? That's the big question. I think it's better to
Right.
make something new out of it, like a shirt that we will actually use. Um, but yeah, because yeah, compostable. No, you can upcycle it. You can find ways to. If you
Right.
have a plastic bottle because you had to buy one because you were thirsty and there was nothing else than this plastic bottle, so reuse it. Don't store
Right.
it. Yeah.
But there are some cities in India where they have passed laws saying no more plastic. We have enough plastic now. No more plastic.
Yeah.
And you need to everything you now create has to be made with natural fibers, meaning jute or cotton
Mm,
or something natural that will compost.
mm,
And so they just give out these little jute bags or little thin fiber bags, thin fabric bags. And if you come without any bag of your own, they charge you for it.
mm.
So you can buy that, but you have to take something like that. But no more
That should
plastic.
be normal.
Yeah, it should be normal. When I was growing up, it was normal. You know,
Mm,
I mean, I used to go and shop for my family. Right? Basically, they would send me to go collect, um, buy vegetables or whatever, grains, whatever. But I
mm,
had to go with a bag. There's no question. You
mm,
don't go there empty-handed and say, "Give me something." No, I had to go with a bag, or the shopkeeper would pack it all in newspaper and give it to me
yeah,
in newspaper. Right? So they used to have this newspaper that they would just go and pack everything, and they would collect newspaper from us and take it to the shop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should change the norm, and it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. We are the
Yeah.
only species on Earth who create products that we don't use anymore. That we
Right.
are the only one creating trash. If you look at animals, they don't use trash.
Yeah.
They
They don't
won't
have
create
trash
something.
collectors.
Yeah, they won't create something to then throw it away.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have to learn to not create trash, even though we are living all over the earth, right?
Yeah,
Which is why we need clothing. Because if we still lived in Africa, we won't even need clothing, right? So,
yeah. I always said the most sustainable clothes are already in your wardrobe.
hmm,
So if you don't, people tell me, but how can I buy sustainable? How can I buy ethical? It's expensive and all that. First of all, it's not, because if you go to a thrift store or second hand, it's the cheapest way to buy clothes and it's the most sustainable. And second of all, you already have the clothes you need. What else do you need? You need one pair of shoes? Okay, buy this one pair of shoes in a sustainable way. What else? T-shirts, you already have 20 of them. You don't need anymore.
yeah, you're
So,
absolutely. It reminds me of my aunt who she was seeing my. I had a small bag, and I was coming with a bag from the U.S.
mm.
to India, and so she me and she said, "What's the bag?" I said, "Oh, those
Oh, you cutting? I don't know if it's you or me, but it's cutting.
are clothes." Yeah, it's me. I had trouble with the internet today,
Uh,
so it is. Why do you need the clothes when you're wearing one pair of clothes? You wash the other, and that's it. She said every time she takes a bath, she washes her clothes that she was wearing the previous day. assuming that you're living in a place you sweat a lot, which is what, I mean, in India you sweat a lot. That's what she was doing.
Yeah,
So she had two sets of clothes, and that's it.
yeah.
In
And sometimes people they put a t-shirt, they go to, I don't know, to a store, they come back home, they remove the shirt and they wash it. Like, wait, you can maybe use this shirt again, smell it, check, maybe it's like new and you gonna wash it again. And actually this
right.
can save you as well money. It's like jeans, you can wear your jeans a lot of time before you wash them. Some people they wear it one time and then they wash it. Wait, you can reuse it, and yeah, you're gonna save money, you're gonna save the planet. It's 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 a win-win situation. I'm sorry, I think it's cutting.
It
I don't know
comes
if
down to
that's
common sense. Yeah, it comes down to common saying. It's I think it's not that you have to just, okay, how did it happen to be like this?
I'm
And
sorry,
when you
it's
ask
cutting.
questions, you go down the rabbit hole. Can you?
Yes, I can hear half of what you say, so I
Yeah,
think
okay,
I
no
understand, but
problem. No problem. So, what is your plan for the future? Is it
my
going to be, are we going to be wearing pineapple leather, or are we going to be making, cork based clothing, hemp based clothing? What is your prediction?
My prediction is that fur will disappear. First of all,
Fur
that
will disappear. Okay.
in a couple years, and people will start connecting the dots and realize that leather it's nothing more than fur with no hair.
Hmm.
They are going to realize that it is not a byproduct; it is a co-product. Actually, leather is the most valuable part of the animal. If you divide
Hmm.
the body part of the animal, leather is 10% of its body part. So
Hmm.
it's actually the most valuable part in the animals, and
Hmm.
that's why when people say leather is a byproduct of the meat industry, I will actually argue that meat industry is a byproduct of the leather industry.
Wow.
So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, so people need to realize that leather is not a byproduct. It's full of chemicals. It's full of suffering. A lot of animals are killed just for their skin. We are talking about dogs. People get often shocked about that, but also you have a lot of leather made of baby cows and even
Hmm.
unborn baby cows. So you have unborn baby cows, they're going to use their skin because it's more soft, or I don't
Right.
really remember
Yeah.
the specificity, but yeah, for some reason they use that as well. And yeah, I think leather will be the next step. Now we all talk about fur and it's getting banned everywhere. Then leather will be banned everywhere. I'm sure of that. I don't know how long it will take, but it will happen. And yeah, same with wool, same with all animal products, because silk, it's destroying our planet. Check all the studies,
Hmm.
you'll see that they have the worst impact on the environment, the biggest use of land, on water, on resources, all the transportation, because most of the leather we use, it's not usually not made locally, it's always from far because it's cheaper. So yeah, and there's so many alternatives. That's the thing. It's not like, okay, we have leather or not wearing leather. No, you have leather or vegan leather that is better for the environment, better for your health, no chemicals, organic, natural. You are talking about cork. It's one of the best alternatives. We don't when you use cork, you don't even cut the trees, because people think of the cork oak trees, so they think we cut the tree and we made something out of it. We actually just use the bark of the tree. So when you remove the bark, which is like a dead skin of the tree,
Hmm.
then the tree will reproduce this bark. So it will
Hmm.
absorb 3 to 4 times more carbon than it usually does to create a new bark. So it's actually good for the environment to remove their bark, and
Hmm.
uh, and then it become a fabric. I actually just have one here. So you see, it's a bag
Oh,
made of cork, and uh,
Wow.
and this will last. It's actually 6 times more resistant than leather, and it's been like 5 years I have this, and it doesn't move. Oh, you want to see it bigger? So yeah, you can have alternative. Check on Google, put leather alternative. You'll see. We did on one. If you go on fakemovement.com, you have a
Mhm.
section called fake news, and we have a list of different alternatives, and we did that less than a year ago, and it's already not up to date because there's so many more alternatives. It keeps coming, and those alternatives are getting better every day. We have, for example, apple skin that is made of the apple skin, the leftover of the apple, and
Mhm.
they mixed with synthetic to make it more resistant. And every couple months they are reducing the amount of synthetic. So that's the proof that it's getting better and better every day. So yeah, when the best way to do that is by supporting them. And yeah, so that's the future. No more animal. People will start seeing animal as what they are,
Right.
which is being that can feel. And yeah.
Awesome. We all believe it'll happen in 2026. We're going to be a
Yes.
vegan. Uh, Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you for the
Thank
work
you.
you're doing, and thank you for enlightening us and educating
Oh,
us on this issue.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and for everything you do. Yeah.